60 seconds on the clock. Same settings as before. Same landing spots as before.
No surprise. No games tonight, huh? For our NBA?
There should be. Is there not?
Oh, actually, Sixers Nets playing right now, actually. Let's see what the score is for this team, for this game. Brooklyn up. Talk it up, baby. Come on, Brooklyn. 45-37 right now. Here we go. Talk it up. There goes Bryce Young. That's fine. I'll take CJ Stroud at the 103.
I swear, didn't the Kings and Warriors just play?
When did they play? Did they play tonight? No, they didn't play. They played the day before. Remember?
I swear they played yesterday. Did they not? Okay.
Nah, they played the day before because
that's going to be a good game.
That was the game that... Yeah, it was the game before because that was when... I think that was the same game, the same day that the Bucks and Heat were playing. Yeah. That was 2 days ago now.
Okay, here at the 104, people keep telling you there's no elite wide receiver prospect. Well, in my database there is, and his name is Jackson Smith and Jigba. And I just took Anthony Richardson. Let me fix that. Okay, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He lands with the Houston Texans, and he gets his old. Actually, he gets Bryce Young as his quarterback, so it's Bryce Young and JSN as the future of this team. And then Anthony Richardson goes at the 1-5. If you got the 101 to the 1-5, I think you should feel very, very good in this year's draft. Very good.
Yeah, I think so as well. You get to choose from some top guys here. There goes Jameer Gibbs at the 1-7. I wonder what's going to happen if both Anthony Richardson and Will Levis fall to like the end of the first or middle of the first.
I don't see it happening with A-Rich, but I could definitely see it happening with Levis.
I wonder if that changes for a lot of people, or if people are still going to take him. Like, let me just... Like, if Anthony Richardson falls to pick 16 and he goes to Washington...
Right.
Does he still go at the 104, 105 area?
To where did the other wide receivers go? But I would say, yeah, he's still a first-round wide receiver.
You know, if he goes to Tampa at 19, yeah, like, well, just put Anthony Richardson in Will Levis's shoes and where he's been getting mocked at the moment. Is that the same, or do people still believe in the talent and the build of Anthony Richardson?
I think if he goes first round, people will be all in. Personally.
Regardless, like no matter where in the first, people are still all in. Okay,
I think so.
I think there is a
people
world
will be out when he goes second.
I think there is definitely. I can definitely see that, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Keep in mind, people were drafting Kenny Pickett at the 102 last year, which I thought was ridiculous, but people were doing that, and he went to the Steelers at pick 20. So,
yeah, and I get it. So, it's interesting. I think there is a world where we can see that, whether that's with either quarterbacks. Obviously, I think we are projecting that for Will, but if that happens to Anthony Richardson, and one of these, you know, what if he falls to the Titans at 11 and they don't even have to move, right? Does that change?
I mean, the Titans at 11, I think, are actually a good landing spot.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing. Yeah. I'm saying more of like, okay, how do we feel about that? You know, if he falls outside the top 5, because right now we've been seeing going in the top 5, right? So
yeah, I hear you. Okay, so Charbonnet goes at the 112, Kincaid at the 110, Addison at the 1-9, Johnson at the 1-8. We have Josh Downs here at the 2-1, and you are up after this next one. What's up, MP? Talk it up, Lazy.
No, she's having a day. There goes Michael Mayer there. Okay, well, this makes it interesting.
It's a little bit tough now.
Where does... I know Devin went in the 4th, so I'm not going to take him. Jalen's still in the 1st. Tank didn't get the best landing spot. Where did Tajay go? me see. Is it not picking up Tajay? I'm like typing in his name. Okay, he went to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Am I? He went to Miami in the third. I'll take Tajay in the third here. The 203.
Okay, so Tajay Spears is off the board. And I'm gonna look through, but unless I'm missing something, he was like the last obvious pick. Unless you're in on Jalen Hyatt.
Davis Mills stock on the rise. If you can sell Davis Mills for something right now, if some Texans aren't going to take a quarterback, do it by all means, please.
You know, I don't look. I'm. There's a 90% chance they take quarterback. That's what I'll say. But there is still that 10% that I'm like, I don't know. It is possible, and the reason I say that is because of the coaching staff around them. I'm gonna go Zach Evans here. He goes to the Bills. I'll take him at the 2-4. But you think about the staff that they've put there.
It's not
necessarily like DeMeco Ryans. That is a defensive-minded head coach, and if he were to like want to start off his tenure by getting what he believes the best player in the draft is in Will Anderson, and the quarterback they want isn't available, there's a chance. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. Doesn't mean that Davis Mills is the answer, but I'm just saying, it's 90% chance they take a quarterback, but there's still that 10% that I'm like, maybe.
I just wonder if they would rather go best defensive player at the 102, and then if Will Levis falls to them at the 12th pick, they're happy to take that chance, right? But I would agree that I don't think the Texans kind of set themselves up to help a quarterback grow. Who have they brought in to help develop a quarterback?
They drafted you mean team wise, or
I'm talking about in the front office, right? DeMeco Ryans, and this is why I say I love the Panthers landing spot, right? Because we've seen the history of the Panthers landing spot, of the Panthers coaching staff develop a quarterback with Frank Wright, right?
I hear you.
With all these other people, now Josh McCown's there. If I'm not mistaken, there's also Jim Caldwell is there in the Panthers. I think he's playing some sort of role. I don't know off the top of my head where he's at, but I know the Texans haven't brought in anyone. I'm pretty sure the offensive coordinator for the Texans is a first-time offensive coordinator. DeMeco Ryans' first-time head coach. There's no, not saying there's not a path to success. I'm saying there's already written in paper or in ink that there's going to be bumps in the road for that quarterback.
Well, just because someone hasn't done something doesn't mean that they can't.
And I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying
just because they haven't had the chance to, sure. Like from an outsider's, perspective looking in, the Panthers clearly the better landing spot, but just because he hasn't done it doesn't mean that coaching staff
that
can't.
It won't happen. I agree there.
And yeah, as far as like the team around him, I mean, they in this scenario they went wide receiver at 12. I would be surprised if they don't add a weapon. But you got Dameon Pierce back there. You got your franchise left tackle and Laramie Tunsil, excuse me, Laramie Tunsil. Jeez Louise. So you don't have nothing, and they spent a second-round pick on a wide receiver last year. I agree. It's definitely a better landing spot in Carolina, but just because someone hasn't done something doesn't mean that they can't, is what I would say.
Yeah, I definitely hear you. I think if I'm looking outside, looking in, the Panthers are clearly the better landing spot with what we've known the history of that quarterback. Of the head coaching room alone, not even the team that's built around, just the head coaching staff alone. We've seen that success of them bringing up and building a quarterback.
Where did Rashawn Johnson go here?
He went to the Jags.
Where? Like,
I think in the 5th or 6th round.
at pick 208. Oh my God, that's disgusting. What is that, 6th round? Oh jeez. All right, we're gonna go A-Chain here. Devin A-Chain at the 3-4. Much less risk than him being anywhere near early 2nd. He goes to the Panthers in the 4th here. So really clearly stuck behind Miles Sanders, but I like the player, I like the talent, and here in the 3rd round, I can justify taking a shot on a guy that I like. 10 days to the draft, MP. That's right. We're hyped about it. Steven, what's up? Welcome in. Kyle says, what's up, boys? Just filed the taxes. Congratulations. Steven says, didn't Houston get a quarterback whisperer for either OC or quarterback coach?
I don't know. Let me try and look up who they brought in as Texans.
Okay, so obviously D'Amico Ryans is head coach. Offensive coordinator is Matt Burke. Or sorry, that's defense. Offensive coordinator is Bobby Slowick. Does anyone know anything about Bobby Slowick? Let's have a look at Bobby Slowick. Bobby Slowick is... Okay, so he was a defensive assistant in Washington, offensive assistant with the 49ers. So he was an offensive passing game specialist with the Niners in 2021, passing game coordinator for the Niners in 2022. So under the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree, there's some very smart minds there.
Have you seen that clip of Kyle Shanahan when he was with the Browns? And I forgot the head coach's name. He was like, I think we should run it. Like, they just had a big play. And he goes, I think we should run it. And then Kyle Shanahan just like stares at him. And then he goes, actually, let's go with what you want, Kyle.
I haven't seen that, no.
Oh, gosh, it's so funny. Let me see if I can find it.
They also have Jared Johnson as the quarterback coach. He's a former quarterback, I believe. A former American football quarterback and current coach. Was signed by the Eagles in 2011. And then I don't know much about his coaching career, but as a coach, it looks like more recently he was assistant quarterback coach to Minnesota, the Minnesota Vikings. So they have some pretty bright minds there for sure. But Steven had a question. He says, if the Texans don't go quarterback, where's his question? Sorry, Steven had a question. He said, Zach, where would the quarterbacks have to go for Levis to become your quarterback too? Okay, so just to be 100% transparent and honest, I would need either CJ Stroud or Bryce Young for them not to be my quarterback too, right? They would need to fall out of the 1st round. Levis would need to land in the perfect situation within the top 5, and Richardson also would have to have not gone in the 1st round. Yeah. Kyle says, you guys see Adam Schefter's report today that no quarterback is going to be drafted after pick 1 until pick 4? So you think,
like,
so Schefter's saying that it'll be quarterback at 101, and then the Colts will draft the 2nd quarterback. I've heard that. I just don't think why those teams wouldn't trade out. If
well,
that's true.
I think that gives Arizona more ammunition, I would say.
Yeah, Arizona and the Texans if they want to trade out.
Yeah, like, yo, I got the best quarterback here for you, or CJ or Bryce, the best quarterback available right now. What do you want? Either let's swap or do whatever. I think there's gonna be teams fighting for that. That's gonna Atlanta, Vegas.
I'll take Sam Laporta here.
You know, so
yeah,
the Titans can definitely move up.
Yeah.
Washington be a surprise move up. Come on.
Druso says, who would each of your most confident NFL play / pick combos be other than Bryce of the Panthers? If you put Jason on the Chargers, it's the definition of a no-brainer, I would say. So that's one that comes to mind for me. Anthony Richardson to the Seahawks, the Lions, or the Falcons. is perfect in my mind. Jordan Addison to the Vikings is perfect in my mind. I could also say Zay Flowers to the Chargers. And then I feel like Zach Charbonnet to the Bengals. He says, I meant which combo do you think is most likely to happen? Well, right now, I would say the Panthers are. It's still up in the air with Bryce and CJ. I just don't know who to believe. But
most combo likely to happen in what? What do you mean?
I think he's kind of like saying
I'm
like
confused.
predict where people will go.
Right.
But I honestly think that first overall pick is going to be the domino that needs to fall.
Yeah. Once they know who they take, then it's kind of over. Everyone is gonna know where to go, where to pivot. They have all these different scenarios, so I don't know.
Did Sean Tucker not get drafted in this one?
No, he didn't.
And I'm worried.
He didn't. Yeah, I'm worried as well. And once again, I can't argue for Sean anymore. You know, I don't have anything to back it up. We don't have his numbers. We don't have anything. All I have is his tape, which I think is good enough, right? I think he could be a good running back, but
There was a report that came out as I was going to bed last night about Sean Tucker having another pro day.
interesting.
Okay, Syracuse's running back Sean Tucker has been medically cleared during combine recheck and will hold a pro day at Syracuse on April 24th. This is the report that I was referring to.
Who the hell's gonna go to that? No team is gonna fly out there because they're gonna be. I mean, I mean, maybe they get their own scouts to go out. Yo, Sean Tucker's going. Go see what's up.
I definitely think people will be there.
It's only one player though, unless there's gonna be unless there's a group of players that weren't able to perform or weren't medically cleared, not just in Syracuse, but as a whole, and say, all right, here's some guys that weren't able to. Here's some guys that weren't able to run or weren't able to do drills. Keep
in mind that this is literally. There are people who are hired around the entire year as scouts. Like they're gonna be there.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think those guys would be there. I was thinking those top, you know, the teams, the GMs, the head coaches probably went out to go see the Syracuse Pro Day where they saw Witherspoon and they saw whoever the case may be. Well, Witherspoon went to Illinois, but you know who I'm talking about.
Dude.
Yeah, I mean this is. In my mind, this is a very good chance for Sean Tucker to establish himself as someone to put himself on the map to improve his draft stock.
Yeah,
he needed.
I would agree.
This.
It definitely helps. It definitely helps.
Okay, that is all she wrote, boys. That is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. MP says Bryce got no further visits. He canceled all the remaining ones. Put the house on it.
Can where's that report? Because I've seen that. I've not seen it. I've read it somewhere, but I've been trying to find. I'm trying to find the actual report. It was like a second-hand
PFF
tweet.
College says Tom Pelissero says Bryce Young has canceled his remaining pre-draft visits. The expectation is that Young will be the first pick to Carolina.
Who else was he visiting?
Young also visited the Texans, who draft number 2.